Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It's 9 o'clock. It is Sunday. It's time for a review show special. This is where I take a deep dive into a particular subject, a particular creator, a particular company, and I kind of go full in on a particular product or whatever. Now today, I'm going to be looking at TCC. This is, I think, the 7th millionth TCC review show special. They just keep bringing stuff out. I can't keep up. I've just put a big order in on TCC's website for a bunch of stuff, and I'm going to be working through it slowly. And, you know, I know a lot of you know I'm working with TCC, but I paid for this out of my own pocket, as I do with pretty much everything on this channel. And you're going to get my full opinion. Now, I will tell you before we start, I'm looking at their new packet tricks that have just come out. And the 6 packet tricks, ESP card, the Rose, Ace Assemble, No E, we'll get to that later on, Wild Card, 3 card Monte, and Happy Birthday. I got all of my download links for all of the packet tricks. Happy Birthday had instructions. The Rose didn't have instructions, but it says on there the handling is the same as Happy Birthday, so I was fine with that. The 4 Ace Assembly had instructions. ESP card had instructions. These 2, Wild Card and 3 card Monte, did not have instructions. I don't know if it's because they've not been put into my account. I doubt it, because I went through the checkout like a customer would. So I don't think that's the case. I don't know. There were no instructions in the download, which is a bit of a shame, because if you're new into Magic, you need, well, anybody needs the instructions, but the reason I say if you're new into Magic, you especially need them is because this is basically Wild Card. There's no difference here as far as I can see. And this is Michael Skinner's 3 card Monte. There's no difference here as far as I can see. So we're going to review these products one at a time. Please bear in mind that these 2 haven't got instructions. Now, I've emailed TCC to see if I can get an instruction link. If you're new into Magic and you don't know what the original source material is for these, that'll make it a little bit awkward for you. So hopefully they'll fix this. But also, I'm not really too sure what is being added to these. I also don't know what's being added to this one. These 3 are kind of new. These 2 are definitely new. Not that one. Happy Birthday, the Rose, definitely new. This one has a new method for an old trick. This is like an ESP matchup. But these 3, this is McDonald's Aces. This is Michael Skinner's 3 card Monte. And this is Wild Card. I don't see what they've added to this. Maybe I'm missing something. But let's have a look at these tricks one at a time. We'll start with the performance. And then after the performance, I'll tell you what I think. And we'll start off with 3 card Monte. Jack, how you doing, Jack?
More.
This is called the 3 card trick. Do you have any idea, Jack, why it's called the 3 card trick?
No, I'm clueless.
It's called, it uses 3 cards, Jack, that's the reason. And the idea is that you have to follow the ace. Not the 2, not the 3, the ace. If you follow the ace, you win. If you don't get it, you lose. Now, I will tell you, Jack, you can't win at this game. Most people, when they play this game, the operator, that's the person that's doing the gambling, they'll mix them face down. It's very difficult to follow where it is. I don't do that, Jack. I'm very, 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 very honest with this. Look, I want you to see the ace goes right there. The 3 goes right there. The 2 goes right there. That's about as slow as you can get. Ace, 3, 2, right? And all I have to do is mix them up like this. That's all I do. Mixy, mixy, mixy. Jack, where's the ace?
The middle one?
That's what everyone says, Jack. That's what everyone says, but that's the 3. That's why you should never play cards with me. You see, that's the 3, that's the 2. The ace is over here.
Bugger.
Maybe you missed it, Jack. Most people do. So I'll tell you what, I'll do it again. We have an ace, a 3, and a 2. Now, Jack, like I told you, I'm not going to mix these up. I'm going to let you see absolutely everything. In fact, I'm going to go super slowly, so slowly that there's no way you can miss it. The ace goes right there in the middle. The 3 goes right over there. The 2 goes there. I'm not even going to mix them, Jack. I'm not even going to mix them. Not going to touch them. You saw where it went. Jack, where's the ace?
The centre?
Jack, I told you, you never want to trust a magician with paid to a living. That's the 3. That's the 2. The ace is over here, Jack. You can't win this game. It's impossible to win because I cheat for a living. You got to remember that. I tell you what, I'll do it one last time. Jack, would you like me to mix them up so you can't see them, or would you like me to let you see everything?
Let me see.
Okay, in fact, you know what, Jack? I'm going to go one step further right now. The ace, the 3, the 2. I'm going to make it really easy. I've got 3 cards. You've got 2 eyes. That is why you're at a disadvantage, young man. So I'll tell you what. Let me get rid of the 3. I'll put the 3 over there. Now we've just got the ace and the 2. 50-50. Your odds have gone up from 33.333 recurring to 50%. There's a very good chance that you're going to... 50% chance you're going to win. Bad news, 50% chance you're going to lose. And Jack, you will lose. Watch the ace, watch the 2. A mixy, mixy, mixy. Mixy, Jack. Mix. Mixy, mix. Where's the ace?
That one?
Jack, I'm telling you that's not the winner. I'm telling you should change your mind.
Can I see?
No, I'm just telling you need to trust me.
You just told me not to trust you.
Okay, don't stick with that one. You'll lose. Stick with that one, but you'll lose.
I'll stick with that one.
You sure?
Yeah.
You're going to lose. I'd switch if I were you.
No.
Do you want to switch?
No, I'm good.
You're going to lose.
Fuck, take it out of them.
I will. There's the 3, there's
Shit.
the 2. I told you would lose, Jack. I told you would lose because the ace is over here. You can't beat me because I am a gambling god. Okay, so first of all of these packet tricks are the same. They come in nice little envelopes and all of the cards are inside. You don't get like a little packet trick holder to keep them in. You're going to have to put that in your own packet trick holder. But this one, and they've all of the backs of the cards are the same, those that have backs, which are... they match the new TCC playing cards. So TCC have their own brand of cards now that look like this. Very nice cards, very different feel to Bicycle, but very, very nice cards. However, as these are packet tricks, it's not really too much of a problem if you don't use the TCC branded cards, but it's something to worth noting about. So what you just saw was their 3-card Monte. This is one of the ones that didn't have instructions with it. But luckily, you look at the gimmicks, and anybody who's been in Magic for long enough will know that this is Michael Skinner's 3-card Monte. So because I couldn't have access to the tutorial, I wasn't able to know if they've added something different to the handling. Maybe they have. I know Garrett Thomas has got a lot of work on this set, so maybe it's completely different. But all I could do, because I wanted to get this review up, all I could do was basically just present to you the Michael Skinner 3-card Monte, which I've been doing for years. And, you know, this is a great packet trick. This is one of the best packet tricks ever made. I don't see what's new with it, but, you know, I've been through that. But I remember the first time seeing this, for me, I actually bought this as a packet trick years and years and years ago. And I kind of dismissed it. I was like, it's all right. And it came with instructions. This is before video links and anything like that. It came with instructions, written instructions. And I dismissed it. I didn't really get it. I didn't think it added anything to the classic 3-card Monte. And it was when I watched Bill Malone do this that I realized how good this is. This is a great EDC packet trick because it's instantly reset. You just put it into your wallet or you put it into your top pocket and you're good to go anytime, anywhere. It's great. And it's, you know, the way that I performed it, the way that is basically Bill Malone's performance of it. It's 3 phases. It's very, very strong. Every phase builds from the previous phase. Every phase gets better, which I think is really, really important. Now, the cards can't be examined at any point. You could, if you wanted to, switch cards in. If you had a TCC deck, you could have the cards examined with a Himba wallet or something. But honestly, I've been doing this particular trick for years. You don't need to have them examined. These cards are great because of the shows that you get and the way that these cards are constructed. You don't really need to have them examined. And at the end, you know, you've got that big finale, you put the cards away and you go into something else. This is wonderful. I have carried this around with me for years. I know that Peter Nardi and Garrett Thomas have got work on this that's coming out soon, if not is already out. I can't comment on TCC's version of it because there's no tutorial link, as I said, so I can't say if they've added anything to the added anything to it. I don't know if they will have, because this one here is basically McDonald's Aces, and there ain't no difference between this and the original McDonald's Aces. So I don't know if they will have added anything, but maybe they have, maybe they haven't. But buyer beware, if you do buy this, there's no instruction link. Now, maybe that'll change, but there's no instruction link. So if you don't know Michael Skinner's 3-card Monte and you've bought this, contact TCC or look up Bill Malone's DVD set from L&L, and that's where you can learn Bill's handling for this, which is what I just did for you. I'm giving this 100% as a trick. You know, the card's well made. I don't care that it's not got the back design of a bicycle deck. This is a packet trick. I just throw it in my pocket. The price is very, very reasonable for these. I get through these so much because I just throw them in my pocket, throw them in my wallet. I'll probably end up getting a few more sets of these because I do love this. It gets 100%, but as I say, please be careful. There is no tutorial link. A lot of people turn around to me and say, Craig, here's the thing. What point is being a magician? What use is it? So you can make a card come to the top of the deck. You can chop a person in half and put them back together. What's the actual, you know, how is this applicable in real life situations? Well, I'm going to tell you a time that my magic literally saved my butt. You see, it was a very important, and I'm going to illustrate this story with playing cards.
As you do.
Exactly. Now, I've actually got 4 cards, and the backs aren't important, but you can see that they're all the same colour. And this story is about Sarah's birthday. And unfortunately...
Did you forget it?
I forgot it. Now, here's the thing. I forgot her birthday.
Was she mad?
I forgot the presents. I forgot everything. But I kind of realised the night before. Bit too late to get a present, but I thought...
Did she drop some clues?
Yeah, no, Ryland told me. But I thought, you know, maybe, just maybe. This is based on a true story. This story, by the way. I thought maybe I could fix it. So I went into the kitchen to see if there was something I could use as a cake, and I couldn't find anything. But I did find some candles. I found 4 candles altogether, Jack, and they were all unlit. They were all, obviously, the candles weren't lit because you wouldn't find lit candles in a drawer, Jack. That would be absolutely ridiculous. But I found 4 candles. They were all exactly the same. And I thought, well, you know, 4 candles is okay. It's all right. But I really need a cake to go with it. I can't just say 4 candles. Plus, I mean, with how old Sarah is, the amount of candles I'd need, it's a fire risk, to be perfectly honest. She's not going to watch this, is she?
I don't think she will.
So I thought, well, I'm going to have to do some magic. So here's what I did. I took the first candle, Jack, and I thought, well, you know, if it's a birthday, you really want those candles lit. So what I did is I used my magic, Jack, and I made one of those candles light up. You see, I've got a little flame right there on the candle. And I thought, well, having 1 candle lit is good, but let's see if I can do it again. So I took this candle, Jack, and I put it through my hand a couple of times, and I got this one. I made this one lit as well. 2 candles that were lit. This last one here, this one was the hardest one. I had to really kind of wave my hand over and say the magic words. Light. That's the magic word, by the way. Yeah, and this one lit up as well.
Hey.
And then what I had is I had 3 candles. I'm thinking that's good, but that doesn't really help me, does it, Jack? I mean, it kind of helps me a little bit, but not really. It doesn't really help me, does it? Because the problem is I've got my candles, and I had a 4th candle over here. Hang on, let me just light this one. Abracadabra, there we go. I've got this one lit, but the problem is she's not going to be happy if she comes downstairs in the morning. I go, Kara, happy birthday. Here's some candles. Here you go. So I thought I'll use real magic, and I went, Accio, because that's Harry Potter speak for come here. Accio cake. And what I did is I used my magic and I actually made a birthday cake appear.
Hey.
She was very, very happy. That saved my ass, and that's the reason why magic's really useful, because you can tell completely made up bullshit stories and make it sound like it's
Okay,
true.
the thing you just saw there is Happy Birthday, which is an original trick as part of the TCC packet trick range. It's very, very simple. There's not really much difficult in it. There's a triple lift, there's a double lift, there's an Elmsley count, there's a through the fist flourish, little Monty move. Nothing really. If you're into packet tricks, you'll know everything that you need to know in order to be able to perform this. And obviously I gave it a presentation, a little storyline to it. There's not really much of a discussion on this. When you get the tutorial, you get a studio performance, you get a performance to music, and then you get the explanation. The whole thing runs 5 minutes. I appreciate the fact that there was a performance to camera. That was nice. It would have been better if it was a live performance, but whatever. But then, you know, the tutorial is 5 minutes. They very, very simply go over the moves. If you don't know how to do an Elmsley count, if you don't know how to do a double or a triple lift, this is not the trick to learn how to do an Elmsley count. They're going to gloss over this in about 10 seconds flat. They're going to assume you know how the Elmsley count is done. But yeah, I mean, what this is in essence is you know, basically a kind of a weird sort of ace assembly where the candles are first of all going on, and then, you know, the cake is appearing. It's a good trick. It's great. I would do this. I wouldn't do this now. I'm not. It's getting 79%. I'm not going to do this now. But back when I was working restaurants, some of the restaurants, the family restaurants I'd work in, every week we'd have families in there, and it would be their birthday. And the client would always say, make sure you make a fuss of the birthday person whose birthday it is. I would absolutely do this in a restaurant. If I was working a restaurant residency now, and there were a lot of people coming in for their birthday, and I wanted to show the management that I was doing something special for their birthday, I would absolutely do this. I might even consider like getting a few of these so I can give away the birthday cake at the end. I'm not too sure whether I would do that, but I definitely do this trick, and I'd probably get everyone to sing happy birthday at the end. It's relatively easy to do. The cards are well made. I'm personally not going to do this. This is not my style. I don't work in this type of venue now where I would do this, but that's not to say this is not good. This is probably one of the best packet tricks that TCC have brought out in this little range of packet tricks, and I think it's also really good for social media. I can see people doing this. I tell you what, if you're a kids entertainer and you're going to a kid's birth, if you're a kids entertainer, I would absolutely 100%. In fact, now I'm talking myself into it. I would consider maybe doing this to camera and kind of presenting it to camera as like a little video going, hey, I'm coming to do your birthday party soon and I'm super excited. Thank you so much for booking us. And I can't wait to meet you at your birthday. And, you know, I'm going to be there in a few days' time. But before I come, I just wanted to do a special trick just for you. And you're making it feel like it's specially for that person, but really it's not, because you're going to send it to everybody. I've talked myself into this. You know, I run a kids entertainment company. I could see myself saying, hey, my name's Craig. I've run Non-Stop Kids. Thank you so much for booking us. One of our entertainers is going to come out to you and they're going to have a fantastic time. You guys are going to really love it. But I wanted to do a special thing just for you, and send that video link to the client and have them get that video link and then they watch it with the kid. I think it just adds to the customer journey. I've taught myself into this. It's not 79, it's 100%. As soon as I've finished this video, I'm going to film this and get this up on Non-Stop Kids. I think this is a genius idea. So I can do this. There you go. Boom, 100%. Good idea. Right, so yeah, that's Happy Birthday by TCC. Cards are well made. It'll last a long time. Next one we're going to look at, we're going to go for the 4-ace assembly. Let's have a look at that one next. We're going to do a trick with 4 cards. It's we're going to take out the 4 aces. And this is called the 4-ace trick. Do you know why it's called the 4-ace trick?
No clue.
Uses 4 aces. Check. That's the main reason right there. The 4-ace trick, using 4 aces. Now I want you to watch very carefully. Do not blink for a second. Each one of these goes down on the table. This one goes here. This one goes here. This one goes here. This one goes here. This one, my friend, is the leader ace. So what we do is on top of the ace of spades, because that's the leader ace, we put 3 cards on top of there, just like that. And then we put 3 cards on top of each one of the other aces. 3 go there, 3 go there, 3 go there. The rest of the cards are not important. They can go away inside the box. The important thing are all of these cards, and very, very specifically, and more importantly, the ace of spades. Now, you make sure I don't go anywhere near that ace of spades. All the cards with it. Look, it's out of my reach. Can't get to it. And we will start off over here with the ace of diamonds. Watch the ace of diamonds. Do not blink for a second. You see, all I have to do is take these cards, wave them over like this, wave them under, wave them over, snap my fingers, and when I do, that first card changes into a card that is obviously not an ace. Now, maybe you missed it, so I'm going to do it again. Watch this next ace. Look, all I have to do is put it face up into the face down deck. You put it face up into the face down deck, you snap your fingers, and when you do, that card magically turns face down. And when it does magically turn face down, that second ace vanishes completely, just like that. 2 aces gone, but not forgotten. 1 final ace left. Now, this one goes in super mega slow motion, so make sure I don't cheat. Look, once again, this ace of diamonds goes face up in between the aces. I will even let you see the situation. There it is, face up in between the 3 face down cards. Now, all I have to do is twist in a mysterious yet PG fashion, and when I do, what happens is that next one changes right there into a 4, and all 3 of those aces have gone. But you can't have something disappear. It's got to go somewhere else. Where have they gone? Well, over here we've had this ace of spades. At the very beginning I said that the ace of spades was the leader ace, and it is. And the reason I know this is because now over here we have the other 3 aces. Okay, so what you just saw was a performance there of the 4-ace assembly, and this is what it is. It's a 4-ace assembly. It's McDonald's aces, guys. That's what this is. This is McDonald's aces. There's no performance to camera on the tutorial. The tutorial runs about 6 minutes or so, maybe a little bit longer. No, that one's longer. This one runs about 5 or 6 minutes and teaches you very, very simply how to do McDonald's aces, how to do a very simple version of McDonald's aces. It doesn't really add anything. The McDonald's aces have been available since time began, and there's far better tutorials that will teach McDonald's aces in a far better way than this. Now, you have 4 gimmicked cards with this. Obviously, if you don't know what it is, I'm not going to show you the gimmick, but you get 4 gimmick cards. The ace of left. There you go. Hang on, let me just do this. There you go. So you also get an ace of spades with an ace of diamonds on the other side. They don't really have a use for this. And it's the ace of spades obviously matches their TCC cards. These three match bicycle cards. They really do. So when I did this, I used a bicycle deck and I just threw the gimmicks into the bicycle deck. So it doesn't matter whether you use TCC cards or not, because these gimmicks will match okay. But this one here, I don't know what this is for. They do say there's a fourth gimmick, but you don't need it. They never then reference what it's for. But you would need a TCC deck to make any use of this at all, because it's got the TCC branded ace of spades on there. But yeah, I mean, the tutorial is what it is. Like I said with Happy Birthday, that was not the place to learn the Elmsley count. This is not the place to learn how to do McDonald's aces. Are you going to get a tutorial on how to do McDonald's aces? Yes, you are. Is it a in-depth tutorial? No, there's a million tutorials out there that are going to teach you how to do McDonald's aces a lot better. But what you have here is you have 4 cards. They work. They're really well made. You will learn how to do it from the tutorial, but they're going to gloss over all of the moves because they're going to assume that you already know it. I would say if you know an Elmsley count and a double lift and stuff, the moves that they assume that you know, if you know all those moves, you're probably going to know McDonald's aces anyway. So I don't know who this is intended for. I don't know if this is intended for beginners or not, because if it was for beginners, they should spend more time on the tutorial. But yeah, it is what it is. I mean, I do McDonald's aces. I love McDonald's aces. I've actually got quite a lot of work on McDonald's aces, which one day will see the light of day. But as it is, I'm going to give this 90%. It is what it is. It's a tutorial that's going to teach you a classic card trick, and you get the cards with it as well. I do think that, you know, I made a joke about this earlier on. There's no E in assemble, which is just, and TCC are normally quite stringent when it comes to their quality control. So, you know, making a mistake like that, I just think do better, you know, do better, because, you know, you're going to turn around to me now and say, oh no, it's meant to be ace assemble, and it's like an actual decision, and it's not. You just left the E off. And you know, it's easy to proofread this stuff. I know that English isn't your first language, but you know, if you're selling to a market of English-speaking people, you need to get a proofreader on this. I think that's very important. But yeah, it is what it is. It's it's McDonald's aces. It's cool. Yeah, if you haven't got it, pick it up. It's good. Okay, Jack, so I'm going to show you a trick called the rose, and it's a wonderful story involving roses on playing cards. You see, this looks like it's a card trick, because when I take these cards out, it looks like I've got a packet of 4 cards. In fact, you can see by the backs that they look like playing cards, but they're not playing cards, Jack. They are nothing like playing cards, because these are the most romantic cards of all time. You see, instead of having playing cards on the other side, they actually have roses. Now, you will notice a small problem with that rose. Do you notice a small problem?
It's not real.
That's not the problem, Jack. The problem is, it's not blossomed. It's not bloomed. It has not come out of its shell and shown itself to the world. It is just like that. If you gave that as a gift to a loved one, they would not be very impressed. We need a rose that's magnificent. We need a rose that you look at and you go, bloody hell, that's a rose. The problem is, Jack, and there is a problem with this, every single one of these is the same. You see, this one here has got a rose on it. That's good. That's romantic. But the problem is that rose, it's not blossomed. Do you see where I'm going with this, Jack? This is an issue. This is a problem, Jack. This is a problem. What am I going to do with all of the roses that haven't been blossomed yet? But don't worry about it. I'm a magician. I can fix this. Watch. If magic was real, it would look like this. I can magically make a more drawing of a rose blossom. How amazing is that? But I'm going to go one step further, Jack, because that's not good enough for you. I know that's not good enough for you, Jack. So I'll take this rose that has yet to blossom, and I'll do this, and this one blossoms as well, Jack. Look at that. Now we've got 2 roses fit for any loved one. We've got one left to go. Jack, you can do this yourself. It's not blossomed yet. Put your thumb and your forefinger together, Jack. All I want you to... No, you're not snapping. That's my job. You're just going to hold that like that. Take your other hand. Wave your hand over. You can have a snap if you want to. Have a snap.
I can't do it with my left hand.
Okay, hold that in that hand, Jack. Don't worry. Nobody's noticed. It's fine. Wave with that hand. Do the snappy thing. Turn it over. Jack, oh my God, it's a miracle. Look at this, we've got roses that have blossomed. Imagine if you gave that to your significant other. They'd be very impressed with that, wouldn't they? Look at that, Jack, it's amazing, it's brilliant, it's awesome.
Matt, do you want some roses?
Matt's your significant other, that's scary. I'm pretty sure that Matt would not be on board with that. But, let's see, we've still got this rose to go, but if you were going to try and get in Matt's pants. If you were going to try and court Matt, I don't think he's the sort of guy where 1 rose would be enough. I don't think he's the sort of guy that 2 roses or 3 roses would be enough. I think if you were going to try and get into Matt's pants, you need a lot of roses. So I'll tell you what, Jack, I'm going to see if I can hook you and Matt up. So take that one. Which is your snapping hand, Jack? That's your snapping hand. Hold there. Snap. Give me a magic word.
Bazinga.
Sheldon would be proud.
Yes.
Turn it over.
Hey.
Look at that. We've got a bouquet of roses, and I tell you what, I'll let you have these, and you can take them to Matt, and you can see how you get on. I think I'll know, and I think...
Well, if you're something with a black highlighter, you know.
Okay, so what you just saw there was the rose. You just saw the rose. Now, I'll tell you something about the rose. You don't get instructions for the rose. Instead, you get instructions for the happy birthday, and it says happy birthday stroke the rose. They don't reference the rose. So I can only assume that this is identical in handling to happy birthday. So I just did the exact same thing. The only problem is with happy birthday, there's a display in happy birthday where you're kind of hiding with your thumb a flame on the candle. And that works really well because the flames are quite small. With these, you're hiding the fact that the head of the rose is not bloomed. But the problem with that is you can't hide it with your thumb. I've got big thumbs and I can't hide it with my thumb. And it would look odd doing that. It works with the candle because they're not expecting a flame to be there. But with the rose, they're expecting it to be a smaller rose. So hiding it doesn't make any sense. So I don't think they've actually thought this through 100%. But, you know, that's why I didn't display the one last card. And I just popped it down on the table. And then I did a double lift to show it later on. And I think that works. But you don't get instructions for this. You get the happy birthday instructions. And it is what it is. It's a nice little trick with a rose. If you again, this is the sort of thing that would work really well at Valentine's Day, at weddings, tricks for couples. I think this would work quite well. It's cool. It's a packet trick. The cards are well made. The sequence makes sense. It's well structured. There's no difficult moves in there. The tutorial glosses over the moves. If you don't know how to do an Elmsley count, go find somewhere else to learn it before you buy this trick, because you're not going to be able to learn how to do an Elmsley count from this tutorial. But if you're an experienced magician and you just want to just go through the tutorial and quickly learn it, this is absolutely placed for that. So yeah, it's called the Rose. It's okay. I'm not going to do this, in all honesty. So I'm going to give it 70%, 60%. It's not as good as Happy Birthday. I think Happy Birthday is better. Out the two of them, it's Happy Birthday that I would do, not this. But yeah, there you go. It's called the Rose. If you want to have a rose-themed packet trick, that's definitely the one to go for. Now the penultimate trick, we're going to look at ESP card, which is in essence an ESP matchup. Let's have a look at that. So we have cards, and as you can see, they've got symbols on them. We have a circle, we have a cross, we have some wavy lines, we have some a square, and we have a star, and we have 5 symbols repeated twice. At this point, just pretend I've spent 5 minutes waffling on about bollocks to do with Dr. Ryland and Ghostbusters and all
Only
that
5 minutes.
shit that magicians and mentalists normally try and do to justify these things. And then we can move on with the bloody trick. Right, okay. Which one do you want?
That one.
Take it. I have the same symbols. Mix them up. You can look at them if you want to, Jack. It's fine. And I'm going to take what? Not that one. Not that one. That one. Look through them so you can see the faces. I have made my prediction. My prediction has been made. What I want you to do is put one of them face up there. Any one face up. Wavy lines, Jack. I'm going to make another prediction. That one, Jack. What have you got? Square.
Plus. It's a star.
Okay, put the last one over there. Okay, Jack. Right. You made all the choices, and I always predicted mine first, didn't I?
Yep.
Yeah? We have some wavy lines. Wavy lines. You have a square.
Well.
Square. I have a star and a plus. You had a star and a plus.
And this last one here was the one I left as well. Okay, so that was ESP card. And as you saw from that performance to Jack, these cards are, you get 10 cards and there's 2 SP cards, 2 SP symbols, 5 ESP symbols repeated twice. So 2 circles, 2 squares, 2 wavy lines, 2 stars, and 2 crosses. And it's a 10-minute video. There's no performance, which is just unexcusable as far as I'm concerned. There's no live performance. A 10-minute video. I think this should have been longer. But, you know, the video teaches you how to do their version of an ESP matchup. Fine. What I'm confused about is there's 2 main ways of doing an ESP matchup. There's a one-ahead type routine where you have an extra card in play and you're working one ahead, which I've used many, many times in the past. And anybody that will have seen my product playlist or Infinity Deck or something will know I've done that method. And then there's the Jazz ESP matchup, popularized by Michael Murray, and lots of people do Jazz ESP. And again, it's something that Pete Turner discussed on Evoke. I discussed with Lloyd Barnes on Infinity Deck. You know, it is what it is. ESP matchups are great. I'm very confused with 2 aspects of this ESP matchup. The first aspect I'm confused about is the cards aren't marked. Normally, with most ESP matchup routines, the cards are marked. And the reason for that is because then when they put the card down on the table, you know what the card is without looking at it. And then you can then go through and you can take out a card and put it on top that matches if you're working one ahead or jazzing it or whatever. But there's no marks on this. So in order for the trick to work, you're kind of doing a Jazz ESP. You're not using an extra card, so you're kind of doing a Jazz ESP. So the only way you can actually do this is by them putting their cards face up on the table, and then you put your next card down, and they put their next card face up on the table, and then you know, they put their next card face up on the table, and then you put another one down, and they put another one down, and you keep going like that, right? Kind of Jazz ESP style, like you saw in the performance. But there's 2 issues here. The first issue is these are face up, and I think that weakens the effect quite considerably. I think this really, really weakens it. And normally at this point, when you're doing a normal Jazz ESP matchup and you're here, all you have to do is pick up your pile, do a sneaky little bottom deal as your gesture, and you're good to go. Now you're in the same position and they can turn the cards over themselves if they want to. But because these are face up and these are face down, that's not going to happen. So now you have to turn these face down, right? And you have to have them turn over their top card, and you have to do a glide to show it matches, which doesn't make any sense. It's completely discrepant because they're turning over the top card. You're apparently turning over the bottom card, but you're not. You're doing a... I just don't get it. I think it's very, 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 very weak. I really do. I think that you've taken the 2 things that make an ESP matchup good, and you've removed them. You know, the fact that you're not ever seeing the cards that they put down, the fact that your cards are being put down first, and the fact that at the very end, they can turn everything over themselves. With the Jazz version, they can turn everything over themselves. With the one-ahead version, they can turn everything over themselves. With this, you are controlling the turnover of the cards. There's discrepancies in there where there don't need to be. You know, I don't understand. I don't understand. I think that this is a step backwards. I think if somebody watches this or learns this and they've never done an ESP matchup routine and this is the first thing that they see, I think that learning this is a step backwards. I don't think it's as good as a normal ESP matchup routine. And although it is an original method, which we can't say the same about the 3-card Monte and about the 4-ace assembly, it is an original method, but unfortunately, I don't think it's as good. It's okay. Don't get me wrong. It's okay. But there's ways of doing it that are better, much better, where you don't need to go down the kind of the convoluted route that they went down. So I'm going to give this 10%. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's good at all. And I'm really sorry if TCC are watching this. I am. You know, I love you guys. I'm. Most of your effects I absolutely rave about, but this, I just don't see what you're trying to achieve here. I don't think it's good. Anyway, we'll have a look at the last one now, which is wildcard. This is another one that didn't come with instructions. So basically, I'm doing the normal wildcard or a version of it. I was going to do a Hammond count, and I thought, now I'll do a glide instead. So I'm doing the glide version of the wildcard. Let's have a look at that, and then I'll talk you through what I think.
Jack. Hello.
I've got cards.
You have?
I have. I've got cards. And I also need a deck of cards, actually. I need a deck of cards. I've got a deck over here. Because I want you to see that all these cards are different. They're all there. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Any fairer, Jack, and you'd be cheating me. We'll give these a bit of a shuffle, and then you're going to pick a card, Jack. So I'm going to cut packets of cards onto the table like this, and as I do anytime you want to, Mr. Market, just say stop.
Stop.
Right there, you sure?
Yep.
That's your card. Can you look at it?
Yep.
Very good. And we'll leave the card in the middle of the deck. Jack, I knew what card you'd pick. Every single card in this packet, this is a packet, it's less than a pack. It's a packet. This is what happens when you don't play with a full deck like me. This is less than a full pack of cards. But every single one of these cards is the same. It is the card that you picked. Because, Jack, let me show you this, because this is going to blow your socks off. It's going to blow your mind. You see, here I have a 2 of hearts. And I was so confident that you picked the 2 of hearts. Here is a 2 of hearts. I was so confident, Jack, that you would pick a 2 of hearts. Here is a 2 of hearts. Jack, I knew you'd pick a 2 of hearts, which is why here is a 2 of hearts. Jack, I knew this. I knew this. I'm like psychic. Well, I'm half psychic, half telepathic. It makes me psychopathic. I knew you'd pick the 2 of hearts, Jack, which is why I've got 8 2 of hearts. Jack, tell everyone, what was the name of your card?
Queen of spades.
What?
Queen of spades. You saw it too, didn't you, Mike?
Yeah.
So not the 2 of hearts then?
No.
Okay, well, Jack, you forced me at this point to use real magic, which I don't like doing, but I'll do real magic just for you. What was it, the Queen of Spades?
Yep.
Boom, how's that?
That's much
In
better.
fact, that's much better, right? We'll go one step further. Watch this one. Abracadabra. Look at that one. I know. Now, you'll see the moment it changes. Look, you see the Queen? You just do this, and that one changes. It's mental. I know. I've seen it before. I still don't know how it works, but it does, you see. Because you picked the 2 of spades. What was it again? The Queen. Obviously, it's this one, right? The Queen of Spades. Because you picked the Queen of Spades, I can take every single one of these 2 of hearts, and one at a time, I can change them into. You do that one, Jack. Just do a little wavy thing, and let's have a look. Look at that, Jack. Let me do this one. Hang on. Squidge. There we go. Look at that one. That one goes. This is the last one. This one's kind of the hardest one, but we'll see what we can do. Look, if I just put it in between the other 2, wait a couple of seconds, that one turns into a Queen of Spades, and every single one of these cards, Jack, all the way through, is now a Queen of Spades. Was that the card that you picked?
It was.
Boom. Thank you very much. There you go.
Okay, so this is Peter Kane's wild card. I mean, there's no difference. Well, I say there's no difference. There's no tutorial. So there might be a massive difference. I don't know. The routine I just showed you is elements of wild card, elements of Ryland's wild cubes. There's a couple of moves there from Peter Nardi from Jokers, and I just threw it all together into a little routine. I don't know what TCC's routine is. The nice thing about wildcard is it's very much open to interpretation. You know, you can see 3 people do wildcard and they'll do a different version of it every single time. So I don't know what makes this different because I haven't seen the tutorial. What I can tell you is that the cards are really good. I can tell you that they feel nice. They've got the TCC logo on the back, but as this is a packet trick, I don't think that's important. I don't think it's an issue. I had them, I kind of went all Tommy Wonder, and I had somebody pick a card, and I had these cards change into the card that they picked, which is fine. That's a great way of doing it. I don't know if that's what TCC advocate because I haven't seen it. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. The cards are well made. The gimmicks are well made. They're nice cards. It is what it is. If you don't do wildcard gets a great reaction. Is it examinable at the end? No. From years of experience, I can tell you that people don't really care about that and don't need to examine it. But yeah, wildcard's great. I'm going to give this 95%. It's a really good version of wildcard. The cards are well made. I just, you know, if you were going to pick something up, if you wanted to do wildcard and you're going to pick something up, I'd recommend Alakazam's Jokers instead of this, purely because that's got some incredible tutorial. Peter goes down, there's live performances, he spends half an hour going through lots of different ways of doing it. You get
normal cards, you get cards that you can switch in, you get a wallet that's designed to switch everything in and out, you get this whole package that allows you to do everything. And what we have here are 8 cards in an envelope with no wallet, no regular cards to switch in or switch out, and no tutorial. So, you know, I'm giving this a good mark because Wildcard is a good trick and the cards are good. But in reality, if you want to learn Wildcard, get Jokers by Alakazam. That's a much better proposition. And, you know, I'm sure that TCC are going to fix the tutorial issue. But as far as I can see, I'm a punter. I bought this off them. There was no tutorial. So I can only go on what I've received. So, yeah, it is what it is. It's a good trick, but there's better ways of learning it. So there you go, guys. That's another video in the bag. Do me a favor. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Now, you want to see more videos like this, all you got to do is like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. If you haven't already done so, please go ahead and join the Netrix. It's my online streaming platform for magicians. It's www.thenetrix.com. That's www.thenetrix.com. We're putting some bangers up there right now. Some really, really, really good content. And we're going to continue. So I'll see you again soon. All of these are available on the TCC website. If you haven't already done so, check out the Q&A from earlier today, and I'll see you again soon. My name's Craig from Magic TV.